So the offseason is in full swing with free agency and the NFL draft on the horizon, but the Chicago Bears have a huge leg up on the competition that we are ready to take advantage of today. College All-Star games, they're about to kick off, starting with tonight's East-West Shrine Bowl. While our offense figures to be a focus, defense, it has some needs of its own, right? Including the need for depth on the defensive line. We need help on the offensive line as well. Safety and pass rush, most notably at end. We also need some wide receivers, right? The advantage that we have a huge coaching presence at today's game. The Bears have assistant coaches that'll be getting to work with some talented prospects tonight. And they've also had the benefit of watching and directly working with them at practice all week. Special teams coordinator Richard Hightower, he'll serve as the East head coach in the East-West Shrine game tonight, while linebackers coach Dave Borgonzi, he'll serve as the East's defensive coordinator. I cannot tell you how big of an advantage this is. And we'll also have an even bigger presence at the Senior Bowl on Saturday. That's coming up. I'll do a show on that really soon. This is a lower tier bowl, though, in comparison to Saturday's game. But let's look at who was there last year. Zay Flowers. He played in the Shrine game last year, and we all know he went in the first round to the Ravens, and he was a huge player this year. Offensive lineman Juice Scruggs out of Penn State. He went in the second round to Houston. He played in this game last year. Tight end Luke Schoonmaker. He went in the same round to the Cowboys. This goes along with 4 players drafted in the third round and 4 more in the fourth. Getting this close look at players, guys, this is an incredible advantage. The Bears also found corner Terrell Smith. As you know so well, we drafted him in the 5th round, and a lot of it was through this game. We had coaches' eyes on players last year here as well. So in short, we're going to get some great looks at some guys during this game, and I have a few that we should keep a lookout for during this game, but with a note. I haven't forgotten people. The top-rated prospects in CBSSports.com's rankings. Currently, the top prospect is Miami defensive tackle Leonard Taylor. But Taylor, like Texas A&M linebacker Edgar Cooper, Texas running back Jonathan Brooks, Texas tight end Jatavian Sanders, and Pittsburgh offensive tackle Matt Goncalves, I hope I pronounced that right. They are all listed as unable to practice throughout the week. We don't know if they're going to play. But the highest rated prospect participating is Boston College interior offensive lineman Christian Mahogany. He's the number 77 overall prospect, and our coaches have been able to work him out, and they'll be coaching him during this game. So let's look at the main guys on my prospect list, guys that we can look for. This is from A to Z Sports. They do fantastic work. When you get a chance, check them out. I just want to give credit where credit is due always. So the main guy on my prospect list is wide receiver Malik Washington. He's out of Virginia. You guys know about him. Washington was Northwestern's top receiver in 2022, but he took his game to a whole nother level after hitting the transfer portal and heading to Virginia. This is the result. He led the FBS with 110 receptions. That set a school record at Virginia and ranked 4th in the nation with 1,426 receiving yards. He's a little undersized, though. Washington's compact, stocky build, though, and his quickness, this allows him to excel in space. Whether juking or running through tackle attempts, his strong hands make him a solid downfield threat as well that compensates for his lack of size. He's a first-team All-ACC recipient. He'll be playing on the West team and lining up against our coach Hightower's squad. Washington has already been making a name for himself, right, throughout the week. Leading up to tonight's game, he has been fantastic in practice. He has been doing big burst plays, and he's quickly making his name stand out among the second tier at the position. He played 406 snaps in the slot at Virginia with 1,127 of his receiving yards coming from the position, and this is according to PFF. That was ranked 1st in the nation. He forced 35 missed tackles last year, which also led the nation at the position. And guys, if we do not bring Darnell Mooney back, and plus we just have Scott, we have Jones, we need a slot receiver, and this guy might be it. I think he's the main player to watch in this game, and he's showing out in practice big time, like I said. The Bears will be in desperate need of adding some wide receivers to offensive coordinator Shane Waldron's offense. Like I said, we only have DJ Moore. That's a huge get, but we only have Scott. We only have Jones Jr. These are our returning starters at wide receiver in 2024. The cream of the crop, though, they will be at the Senior Bowl, but we're so blessed to have our coaches here at this game to get a leg up on other teams. It is huge, so I'm going to remove this story. Another super intriguing prospect. It's wide receiver Johnny Wilson out of Florida State. He transferred from Arizona State to FSU for 2022, and he had a good season there. He went 43 for 870 yards, 897 yards, excuse me, the 20.9 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. We thought he was going to flash this year, but due to injury, his numbers just weren't great. He went 41 for 617 for 15 yards per catch, 2 touchdowns. He only played 10 games. He's a bit of an unknown, but I'm super glad we can get eyes on him. He's a crazy prospect. So what we know, he's a major red zone threat because of his height and large catch radius. And it's tough for corners to stay with him downfield once he's in stride. He's just a big player. So what to watch for in this game? He has to consistently win contested catches, and he has to display the short area quickness to separate from better defenders early in his routes. Another thing that we know, this guy is just huge. Let's look at his measurables. He blew them out of the water. He came in at a whopping 6'6" and 237 pounds on weigh-ins. However, it was his length measurements that sent him over the top. His 35 and 2/8 arm length. That is insane. That puts him 3rd all time for wide receivers, and his 84 and 3/8 wingspan, that puts him 2nd all time for wide receivers. I'm looking forward to seeing how he performs. Let's keep watch of him in this game, but better yet, our coaches get a close look at him in practices all week, and this leads me to my next prospect, and this is a blue chip talent, Air Force safety Trey Taylor. He was awarded with the Jim Thorpe Award in 2023. That's for the nation's top defensive back. He's in this game. The Air Force safety, he had 3 interceptions, 4 pass breakups, while he only allowed a 47.2 passer rating in coverage, and that's according to PFF. That's very nice. The first team All Mountain West recipient, he'll be playing on the East team on Thursday, and that's led by defensive coordinator Dave Borgonzi. We have our guy there. He's also our Bears linebackers coach. Such a good opportunity. Borgonzi, he'll be getting a good look at the top safety prospect who could find himself playing on Matt Eberflus and Malik Washington's defense. I think this might be a guy that will actually draft. And the Bears might be in the market for a new and young safety this offseason. You guys know that veteran Eddie Jackson, he's expected to have a $18.14 million cap hit in 2024. That's just way too much. He's declining. If we cut him, we save about $12 million, but we've got to fill this spot. If we elected to move on from Jackson, Taylor, he could be a prospect worth looking into. This alone is worth our coaching staff being a part of this game. This alone is worth it. It's worth the trip. There's some possible edge prospects here as well. So let's go over a couple of them, and then we'll move on. We've got edge Jonah Ellis out of Utah. He's a consensus All-American. He's got a pedigree. He's son of former, I can't say the words, excuse me, of former Pro Bowl defensive lineman Luther Ellis from the Lions. He decided to enter the draft instead of returning to Salt Lake City for a 4th season. He's got some experience. He led the nation last year. 1.2 sacks per game. That's 12 sacks in 10 games. And he topped the Utes with 16 tackles for a loss. He had a shoulder injury that ended his 2023 year prematurely, but he was a late add to the Shrine Bowl roster. We get to have him here, and it gives him an opportunity to show off his power. He has a patented inside spin move that is insane, and he has quickness around the corner against some of the top tackle prospects in the country all year. I can't wait to see him play. So let's get to the last prospect. This is arguably maybe the best, and it's a position of need. Let's talk about Christian Mahogany, offensive guard out of Boston College. He came into the week already being viewed as one of the better prospects in Frisco, and the first day of practice, he did nothing to change that opinion. He came in and displayed his power from the jump. He showed a hugely quick first step, and he allowed that power to shine through the one-on-one drills with defensive linemen. He has been a standout. He was able to take that positive work. He was able to transfer it to team drills as well. He was able to work clean through dual blocks as he moved on to the second level with absolute fluidity. A lot of what scouts and NFL personnel thought of him coming into the week, he's checked the boxes every single practice. Now, how he can continue to progress will be something worth watching, not only in the game, but following through the combine. And I think he's definitely a guy who has the pedigree that we would look into drafting. So there's many more players that could have profiled. These are some of the standouts to me, but hey, let me know if there's someone you think is on our radar. Let's enjoy the game tonight. It's going to be a good one from a developmental and a draft perspective. You guys, appreciate you. Bear down. We'll talk soon.